Now we'll move on to understand how to manage your diet using these principles. Now there are three aspects which I'll be discussing in diet. The first one is about intermittent fasting. So what is intermittent fasting? So a gap of 12 to 14 hours keeping your stomach empty is what is intermittent fasting. Now this can start from say 8 p.m. and last till 10 a.m. or it can start at 7 p.m. and last till 9 a.m. also. Either way, a 14-hour period during which there is no calorie consumption. During this period of intermittent fasting, you can still take black coffee, you can take some lime water with a little salt if you're feeling dizzy or fatigued, but calorie consumption is not allowed. Now, how does intermittent fasting help your body? The first thing that it does, and the most important thing, is the reduction of insulin surges. We have discussed that insulin surges should be flattened and shortened. So by avoiding a 14-hour meal, at least there is a 10-hour period during which there is insulin is suppressed. Now why this is important? Because once insulin is suppressed, there is a hormone called hormone sensitive lipase which is released. Now lipase is a hormone which breaks down fat. So during this period of intermittent fasting, there is a continuous fat breakdown which leads to better management of obesity. That's about intermittent fasting. The second thing is about the timing of meals. So how should you time your meals? Even those periods during which you take your calories, the 10-hour period, 10-hour window during which you'll be taking your calories, you should time your meals with gaps in between. It is not that you continuously take calories in that 10-hour period because you're losing the purpose. The idea is to keep insulin short and flat. You should time your foods in such a way that there is a meal and then a 3 to 4 hour gap followed by another meal. So you can consume a breakfast at 9:30, 10 o'clock, peak insulin surges. Now these two phenomena, intermittent fasting and keeping gaps between meals where you don't consume unnecessary snack or unnecessary calories, can give you the advantage of reducing the insulin surges, reducing the risk of central obesity and promoting metabolic shifts. Remember, during the periods of fasting, your body tends to move from glucose metabolism to fat metabolism. So the body tends to get the habit of shifting the metabolic profiles or metabolic consumption from glucose to fats. The next aspect of diet is how should a meal look like. In India, it's often a habit to consume a lot of complex carbohydrates, rice being the staple diet in these areas. Rice is a problem not because of its carbohydrate nature but because of the amount that is consumed. So how should a plate look? 50% of your plate should be vegetables. These have an advantage of giving you fiber. These have an advantage of giving you good amount of supplements and antioxidants and vitamins without increasing the calories too much. The next 25% of your meal should be with proteins. If you are a meat consumer, eggs, poultry and fish form the most important part of your protein. But if you are a vegetarian, including dal, chana, milk and including curd form an important part of your protein consumption in the meal. The last aspect, the remaining small 25% should be carbohydrates. Carbohydrates doesn't mean you take large amounts of sweets. Carbohydrate, we are talking about complex carbohydrates like whole wheat, rice supplements in the form of brown rice, unpolished rice, etc. So this kind of a meal balance can provide you ample energy, at the same time not increase your calories too much. Now protein consumption is extremely important for 2 or 3 reasons. One is proteins and fats in fact delay your gastric emptying. Now that way it will decrease your appetite significantly and also make you consume less amount of meal. The other aspect in your meal is how to take your meal. So it's always good to start with a salad. The reason for this is once the first food that goes into your stomach is the one that influences the hormones which are going to come out. Now if you take a carbohydrate first, it's obviously the insulin surge that is going to happen. If you take a fiber diet, the hormone surge is likely to be slow and flat, leading to lower insulin surges, better metabolic advantage.